Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to a guide on how to complete the Providence Trial Judgment with Engineer. So this is good if you just want to get the Engineer win, or this is good if you just want to get the Judgment win in general, because the Engineer is probably the easiest class to get this very hard challenge with. I found Huntress to be easier, honestly, but that's just maybe my play style. I don't know. Anyways, we start with the Scepter. First off, and I'm not going to commentate this entire video just because it's very standard. I mean, if you've played any Risk of Rain, especially if you've done all the Providence Trials up until this point, which you have to do to unlock Judgment, you know what you're doing on some level, so I'm not going to comment the entire video. However, I will show what I get and why I get it. I have no idea if this is the best strategy. It worked for me, so hopefully it works for you. But yeah, I would start with the Scepter because upgrading your ultimate and getting 3 turrets instead of 2, which I don't even know if it upgrades it past that, but if it does, that's good, is obviously really good because your turrets are your main source of damage as the Engineer. So here I go for the Alien Head to reduce cooldowns on everything, especially the turrets. I go for Gasoline since it deals a nice bit of DPS. I go for Boxing Gloves to push enemies away with your turrets. And I go for Guardian's Heart. Guardian's Heart is obviously one of the strongest items in this run, especially for the turrets, because it gives them a bit of a shield. And then we go on to complete this particular stage. Are you with me so far? Next up, you can see I haven't even had to use any heals yet. We are going to get the, I forget what that thing is called, Energy Cell to increase damage when we're low, the Lens Crafter's Glasses, Lens Maker's Glasses to increase damage or try to increase damage. Here I was trying to wonder, I was like, is it better to get the amethyst thing so I can add another turret instantly? But I was like, the stopwatch is probably still the best for everybody, considering it literally stops bosses and, you know, allows you to deal a lot of DPS to them. And then I got the golden gun just because I feel like golden gun is slept on. I don't know. I'm not sure if the other equipments are better. I don't like taking chances, you know, the chance to activate your equipment twice. I'd rather go for a sure thing, which is the golden gun, increasing your damage as you acquire money. Once again, we are back and still haven't had to use a heal, although I'm going to use a heal here. We are going to grab the syringe for extra attack speed. Here I'm judging between the gasoline or the lens maker's glasses, but I see I already have gasoline, so I go for more crit chance. Here I go for the ukulele. Have no idea how good the ukulele is, but it adds to your DPS. And then here I just figured adding the shield to the turrets is good, even if it's a small shield, and then also does some AoE damage as well, would be the smart thing. And we're back to the items. So I'm probably going to grab the adrenaline here or soldier's syringe to increase attack speed. I'm going to grab the missiles here to add some DPS. I'm also going to grab the crowbar to deal damage to high health enemies, and the ukulele once again to continue to increase the DPS of myself and my turrets, although obviously it's mostly about the turrets because you don't really have high DPS with the grenades. Once again, we are back to the item choices. I think I grabbed the armor here to basically give my turret some invincibility, which is nice. Here I grab the spike strips. I find the other ones to be completely useless. Grab another soldier's syringe to increase DPS. And here I grab the Guardian's Heart. Now you can grab the other item that spawns chests. I find it not really to be worth it. You can sit there and basically use your money in order to spawn 2 extra items. I find that to be A, boring, B, time consuming, and C, I just don't, sure, you might get like a scarf or something, but ultimately I don't really, I'm just going to go ahead and grab the Guardian Heart because the Guardian Heart's good and it's probably worth 2 white items anyways. And then we're going to move on to the C level. Once again, we are at the item choice. Here, I'm probably going to grab the crowbar again in order to just deal extra damage to high health enemies. I believe I grab predatory instincts here, or do I go for the golden gun? I'm not actually sure. What do I choose? I do go for the crowbar to deal, or I do go for predatory instincts to deal extra damage with the DPS. I grab the sticky bomb and I grab the concussion grenade to get a chance to stun enemies. And yeah, in terms of actual strategy, like what we're doing and all that, I'm just using the stopwatch to kill the bosses instantly. The cremator comes out instantly, obviously. And then I'm just trying to strategically place my turrets and basically just spamming all my skills constantly while trying to jump all the time and stay safe. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really too much strategy when it comes to the engineer. Okay, and here I believe I grabbed the bustling fungus, and that's because the turrets are obviously stationary, so they will heal if they're not getting hit. I also grab another alien head to reduce the cooldown. Here I grab another missile and another guardian, or I think I go for the tough times, yeah, to reduce damage by 14%, which I still don't know if Guardian's Heart is better or worse than 14% damage reduction. I'm not entirely sure. And then here I instantly kill the toxic beast pretty much with all of my turrets, which is very, very nice to see, because this thing can deal some damage to your turrets, which I believe it does here. And finally, we're in the penultimate item room. I think I'm going to grab the frozen thing, whatever it's called, the frost relic, just to deal some extra DPS. You can honestly grab anything there, I think. I'm going to grab another attack speed increase. Here, I'm going to grab the harvester scythe to heal when we deal crits, which I am not sure whatsoever if that includes when your turrets deal crits if you get healed, but I figure if the turrets are staying healthy, that's good. And I'm going to grab a boxing glove to keep stuff away from the turrets. And then we have our final item room here, which is important, obviously. I go for the Guardian's Heart just because Guardian's Heart's so good. I go for the Dark Ring to reduce all my cooldowns by an extra second, which I believe is what 1 means. I'm not entirely sure. Scarf, because the Scarf is great, and the Harvester's Scythe to continue to heal my my turrets and myself with crits and keep myself and my turrets healthy. And then we have the final fight against Providence. Honestly, the Engineer, if you get to this point, you're probably going to have a pretty easy job. You got to kill 4 of these other survivors in order to spawn Providence, by the way. You're probably going to have an easy job if you are the Engineer, just because the Engineer is pretty strong late game with his turrets having so many items. So what I do is I put 2 turrets on the bottom here, and then I put 1 on the top, and that seems to be a good placement as far as I can tell. And then I just try to strategically use my stopwatch in order to deal the most DPS to Providence, because obviously he goes invincible at certain points. I think he goes invincible halfway here, and then he like goes invincible at the 2/3 and 1/3 health in the second stage, and then halfway through the final stage, I believe. So anyways, it's good to use your stopwatch, like for instance here, in order to finish him off, just to finish off a stage, as opposed to using the stopwatch when he's invincible, because obviously that'll be a waste. So just clearing everything. The gilded worms spawn, and they don't last too long. Just spamming all my abilities constantly, as usual, which you do in Risk of Rain. Gilded worms go down, and then Providence comes back, and we are going to be just constantly throwing out some mines. I should have replaced one of my turrets up top, because it does feel like the turrets up top is the way to go. Like one turret up top, 2 turrets on the bottom seems to be definitely the way to deal the most DPS. But you can see here halfway through he's invincible right now, so ideally we just I basically take a look at how much DPS we're dealing. If I don't need to use the stopwatch, then I'm going to save it. If I do need to use the stopwatch, then I will use it when he's starting to actually take damage, because obviously we're not going to get hit. And we've still got survivors spawning, like this little fellow over here who's trying his best. And then final phase for Providence. So I'm just dealing as much damage as possible until I see his health bar start to go down. And then, yeah, when he's in his final phase, he basically has 2 invincibility stages. So I'm trying to get to either the second half or the last third before I pop that stopwatch. So here I'm probably going to pop the stopwatch when he starts taking damage for the last third, and that secures us the victory. So I hope this guide helped. Thanks so much for watching. You can support by leaving likes, leaving comments, subscribing with the bell turned on. You can also check out the Patreon, links in the description below, to get your name in the credits, as well as get access to all 7 of my channels currently. Hope this guide helped. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.